Yep. The Patreon now shakes. That's a feature. We'll start it here. I've got this wonderful like egg sandwich too to munch on while talking about this. So I took hints from the community. I asked here and there. We talked about it a bit, like we did on the last video that we put up on YouTube, and I kind of reflected on what the Patreon's been doing so far, and I'm kind of happy with it. I'm not very happy with my infrequent posting, but I also know like everybody's just kind of around. Not a bad thing. Just everyone's kind of around. And like people aren't necessarily, for lack of a better word, craving or begging for extra attention in the Patreon. But one thing that I want to do is make things a little more accessible, because I know a lot of people do sub on Twitch, which is great. Thank you. But I want to get more people involved in more content, even just give them an opportunity and a chance to see what they can get through Patreon and whether or not it would be worth it for them to either make the switch or make the extra dive into it. So 2 things I want to do with the Patreon, just so you know my goals with it. With the changes, the goals of the Patreon has always been to produce exclusive content that will add up to the money that you put in additionally to anything else that you do in terms of support to the channel. I think we're hitting that. I think the Commentator over anything is great. I think it's very fun. I think people have really gotten into it. And also, everyone has made it clear when we were going to hit that point when it was going to become too difficult or too boring. So I think we've hit that point, which is not a bad thing. That's the way content works. Which is why people being vocal about that was good. So we hit that good spot. We didn't drive it into the ground. We're going to diversify it before it becomes stale and difficult for people to keep finding clips. It'll still be clips, but we're going to be using different mediums and we're going to be trying to make things more interesting. Before we talk about that, the tiers reflect the things that I think are the most valuable to the money that people have already been supporting with. And then we go from there. I shouldn't be showing how many patrons there are, but that's okay. Because there's no private information on this. Oh, it shows it anyways. Never mind. I'm showing patrons on. I did that voluntarily. Duh. Okay, so to start with the tier that the majority of people are with, the Pro Patron tier has not changed. I think that's the golden child of all of the tiers. I think that the priority in the games as well as the new name or trainer class, because logistically, financially, name or trainer class only makes sense at the $10 tier to get you more value without overcharging for it. I think $10 is perfectly fine. I don't want to change that. I'm happy with it. Name priority, I'm fine with it. $10, that's kind of like, again, the golden viewer, the golden age of where you should be if you want to have your name as a priority and you want to have that kind of benefit as well as everything else. I'm okay with that. Not bothered about bothering it. Nobody's told me it's more expensive, because if they did, they don't do the math correctly where you actually get more names and classes this way than subbing. That's just a reality. Some changes that I made to the lower tiers, however, is now, once for some reason Patreon's not letting me link the new tier, but what's going to be happening is the $2 tier now has access to the live shows. The reason why I want to do this is I realize, you know what? People might want to check out the Commentator or anything, but you can't do it unless you're at the $5 tier. But that also includes archives, so I can't even have somebody subscribe or become a patron and check it to see if they want to know if it's good or if it's for them or not. So what I thought of was, okay, there could be 2 ways we could do this. I could give you access to the archives at the lower tier and then make it where you could only watch the live shows afterwards. Or if people are truly interested in wanting to spend the money, they can watch the shows, and then if they like what they see in the new iterations of it, because the newer ones are obviously a little bit more like when everybody kind of got into the groove of what type of clips they want to post, they can check out the archives later, and that'll give them more content. So I went on the part of there's more content with the archives, so it makes more sense to put it at the higher tier. So the way that it's going to work is for $2 now, you can watch the shows live, but the $5 tier is where you post the clips. I still don't want to move that down with the watching. Yes, it might not make a lot of sense where, like, if everybody moves to the $2 tier and nobody's posting clips at the $5 tier, there is no commentator over anything, but I would still work with that. But again, that's part of the adjustment with the community and you know, making it like you still get access to it. I might flip the archives and the viewing, but that's details. This is kind of just what I'm going with for now to see if I can get more people out to the live show, because then they might be interested in being a part of it. If people think it should be reversed, then let me know. But basically, I'm splitting it where people can experience it, but for cheaper. Just because if people do want to check it out, $5 is a lot for some people. $2 is a lot more reasonable, and it makes the $2 tier feel a little different from the $1 tier, where there is more coming in. That will include a Discord role, so you'll have access to seeing everything that's going on and viewing it live, but you can't post the clips. You can't have any say in anything that's going on with the themes and the like, but you will be able to join in and at least watch it live. So if you go out of your way to put yourself in to want to watch the shows, then we're good to go. Does that make sense? That way the $5 tier still has the value of being able to post the clips and having access to the archives, so it gives you more content that'll be stuck there and permanent. And then, like, you can use the $2 tier to kind of scout to see if you like the show, if you can make it to it. Unfortunately, the reality is I can't stop, or I can't make it where everybody's gonna be able to watch it live, but simultaneously, because Broken puts editing effort into these videos, I also don't want to put it at the $2 tier for the archives, which is why I have the live show cheaper than the archives itself. And it's just permanent content. So if you want to have access to it, you might as well just have the access to that. You can watch it live and or watch the archives. So that's kind of the logic. It might sound a bit backwards, but it's also like, I want to give value to Broken as well as give value to the time investment that people put in to post the clips, as well as show up if they can or watch it later. So that's why it's kind of getting valued. So that's pretty much the main change. The other big change is the $20 tier. Having priority on clips just didn't matter to anybody, and I agree, it just didn't feel good enough. So now what I'm gonna do is demo suggestions. So part of mixing up the commentator or anything is we're gonna have different tiers. We're gonna be using different mediums. So, you know, dramatic readings of passages, oh god, we'll have like analysis of fan stories and stuff like that. We're gonna be talking about that and kind of voting on that in the patron chat, similar to what we do with nuzlocke for subs, where people vote on nuzlocke. Like they provide an idea and then people vote on it. I want to do something similar with the Patreon as well, because again, you guys just have control over it. You guys tell me what I'm doing and then I do it. I think that's kind of a system that's been working well, personally. Because, you know, all of us don't have a lot of time, so it just makes it easier when everybody kind of just throws their ballot in the box and then I just organize it afterwards. Yeah, I think it's led to good content on the channel, so I kind of want to try this as well. But at the $20 tier, so this is separate for the commentator or anything, on months where maybe we don't have a lot going on, we just make it a games month. And if you're at the $20 tier, if there's a demo of a game you want me to try, again, I'll permit, like, you know, I'm not going to say, yeah, just drop me every horror demo, you know. But if there's a demo of a game you want me to try and it's either cheap or free, or maybe there's like a Kickstarter thing that you want to see whether or not you want to invest into, I'll play that, and that'll be archived as well. So if you guys ever wanted to check out games that I maybe play on the side, I think it fits a little bit better in the mold here. I still don't think this is going to be a convincing point for the $20 tier, but it's also because part of if you post these demos is I'd probably need an extra stream or two per month, which might not sound like a lot, but there's a reason why I stream only 3 to 4 days a week and mostly 3 days a week. And depending on when you hit me with these demos, my schedule could be extremely tight, especially around charity time, tournament time, stuff like this, where I'm already putting in a lot of extra hours, more than technically the financial worth of the channel is. So I'm happy to do the extra content, but this is similar to kind of the push that I'm making. It's like, if people really want to see a bunch of demos played by me, this would be the tier that you'd want to do to diversify what I end up showing, and it'll still be exclusive. So, you know, it's still special to it. And going from there, I'm still gonna leave the fitness business up there. If you guys still want to have it, it's fine. It's no big deal. It's a lot of money, and not a leap of faith because I'm trained in it, but I don't expect that tier to be touched anytime soon, which means I'm not going to change it anytime soon either. I mainly wanted to work on the cheaper tiers, the $2, $5, and $10 tier, just to make it where people feel like they can get a little bit more value, but if they can't afford $5 because they're either subscribing or maybe they can't afford the $5 in general, to give them a little bit of taste of the content and still be involved. At least be able to be part of the patron community, and then other people in it kind of control it. So you guys so it's like if you're at the $5, $10 tier, you're running the show. Like you're giving the content to the show. If you're the $2 tier, you're involved in you're participating in the production of the show, and then I'm doing that. I'm doing all of that in a row. So that's just kind of yeah.
I have a quick question for you, Pro.
Yeah.
For the $20 tier,
yeah,
are you limiting that to like 1 game per month, or are you just leaving it open for whoever wants to drop games whenever?
The way that I would do it is leave it open, just for now. I'm not getting flooded with like hundreds of people paying at this tier. So the way that I see it is, let's say the commentator for anything's kind of short. We take a look at how long the demo is, and then I would just invest more time. Like basically what I would do is, rather than saying, hey, I have stream at 2, let's do commentator over anything at 12, I'd be like, okay, let me take a look at the clips, how many clips we have for any commentator over anything stuff. If it only runs like how long it ran today, it was like 20 minutes, then what I would do is just go through the list of demos and kind of fill in the time.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be like this will only apply to June or this will only apply to July. No, it'd just be like, okay, here's a checklist. I will make my way through the checklist of the games suggested, because they're demos, right? Like I thought originally about saying like, if you guys want to see a session of Risk of Rain 2, but then one, you have to know the games I'm playing, and that's just hard to track. And the other thing is, it's like, okay, I was going to do game suggestions, but that can become very expensive really quickly, and I didn't want to make it every 3 or 4 months where, you know, people are only seeing games as like. So it's like, you know what, let's do demos, because demos are cheaper. I don't mind paying a few dollars here and there, because obviously the Patreon money can go towards the demos as well. So it kind of, you can also see that financial investment of sorts into that sort of thing, and you can kind of get my opinions on it. For those who have been on the channel for years, you know that I beta tested a lot of games, and I kind of am like not trained in it, but I'm just very thorough and find ways to break stuff. Sorry, Jez. But yeah, I would just make a checklist of it. You guys can just drop it. Similar to the commentator or anything clips, right? You just drop it. If I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't. But it will get time because you're paying into it. Similar to what I was going to be doing with if people want to pay, like the whole buy my time slot thing on Twitch, where if you guys really want me to play some kind of game and I put a monetary value to it, and the community comes together through subs and bits and stuff like that and hits that value, it's going to be played when I make the time for it. The difference is these demos already have time being made for it because we do a monthly show. So you're going to instantly basically see it get some kind of value. I'll make a list as well of what I can demo on, because usually if it's going to be demo, like, I don't have PlayStation, I don't have Xbox, so it'd be PC demos, or maybe Switch demos. I'd be okay with Switch as well. So Switch, PC, that would basically be it, because there's no other system that does demos. Would you like to demo a GBA game? Nah. So.
Oh, come on, Pro. Let's get a demo of. God, I can't even think of a GBA game.
Can we just get Digimon Sleuth Detective on demo, please?
Oh my
I know it was released 20 years ago, but.
You know, now to spite you, I'm gonna find one of those old demo cartridges and send it to you to make you play it.
I'd do it. Or just you know, do the way that you know how I would do it normally. I'll just look it up.
Valid.
So, yeah. But that's the idea. So yes, it will be a checklist similar to the clips. You won't lose the value. Excuse me, sorry. And that's kind of the goal. So if people wanted to go there, your demos will be seen, and that's why it's still uncapped. The general goal of this, again, is just to make more content accessible while still valuing the total amount of content and work put into it, right? So I think I'm not expecting people just to instantly go, oh my god, the $2 tier is great now. No, but there is going to be a bigger push for Patreon in the future, because there's going to be a lot of free things coming on Twitch soon as well. So It's just being clairvoyant and saying, you know, we have multiple ways. We have to diversify the way that you could support, which also means that it diversifies the way that you can choose to support. That's all we're trying to do here, is just give you more. And frankly, I mean, in my opinion, completely biased, of course, but in my opinion, whenever I think of wanting to diversify, I'm very much a guy who likes working time for money. I know you're not supposed to do that. That's the non-smart way as a streamer, as a broadcaster, as an online creator. You're supposed to make passive income, because passive income is the most hands-off but like lucrative way when you make a system works like that. I'm very much like, I want to give you stuff. If you give me money, I'm very much an exchange of goods for services. So if you guys are willing to give the goods, I will provide the services. Take that as you want. But based on the Patreon, you're getting games and commentary. So I like that format. I think based on the people that I know closely in this community, we are very much a goods for services type of community as well. And I think it makes it more fun, because then there's more interaction for you guys to control what you see, and I'm more than happy with that, because especially since you are taking the time to want to support this thing. So that's all. That's basically what we're going with. So if you have any questions, this is just for the video's sake. If you have any questions, you can ask it in the Discord. You can ask it on the live stream. I talk about this pretty much almost every stream now, and I want to make this work. If you guys have an opinion about the archives versus the live, let me know. I know it probably makes more sense to put the archives in the $2 tier, maybe, but I'm also just thinking about, it's like total content. You're getting more. I don't want to give you more for less. You know what I mean? That's kind of bass-ackwards in business. So
Nah, it makes sense to have the edited ones that Broken has spent time, like,
yeah,
you know, putting together and everything.
Yeah.
Having that as accessible at $5. I think that's definitely worth it. Also, just for the video, like, speaking as a patron, guys, like, it's worth it. You should definitely look into it.
She's not paid for this, by the way.
No, I don't get paid. Another 5 years, right, Pro?
7.
Oh, right, 7. Sorry,
7.
my bad. I forgot.
Always 7. But time doesn't move in the streamer sphere. That's the problem. Like, it should tick down, but time just doesn't change on the internet. That's the true struggle of internet capitalism. Time doesn't move, so you can't even do the time for money thing. It's just time.
So true. It's just so true.
It's not time for money. It's time and money. They just exist exclusively.
In little bubbles floating in the internet.
That's exactly how I was imagining it too. See, we know what's going on. Patron people know what's up. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at this point, part of the reason why the Patreon was started up was to become smarter with diversification, to make people feel like whatever they choose, if they choose, and if they can choose to support the content, whether they support it through charity, whether they support it, like to just spend their money all on charity, which I'm never going to complain about, or if they choose to try and want to give me money to help keep the show alive, Patreon does a way better job than Twitch, right? Until Twitch makes drastic changes, even being a partner doesn't even look that good anymore. The exclusivity of being an affiliate, for God's sake, hurts the damage. It does so much more damage to being able to grow a channel that it does help, but people still want the emotes. People still want to have that access to transcoding, and I value that for my viewers. So that's why I keep it.
And when you look at it, like, I mean, from what I understand, on Twitch, you get like $2.50 from every $5 sub, whereas on Patreon, if someone's like pledging at $2, you're almost getting the same amount. Like,
I'm getting like $1.95 or something like that, $1.90.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting a lot more.
Yeah, it's better for the streamer, and it also like offers a lot more like specifics and like tier, like that's what tiers are for, is to let people get more value for that money. That is, then the streamer is getting more money, which is good.
And the funny thing is, I even rigged it where it's better to stream. It's better to subscribe to $10 a month on Patreon. That is $5 a month on Twitch for the same benefits. That's the funny part.
Right.
You actually get more here, and I've been trying to tell people that, and it's again, it's your money, you choose. And the fact that you even choose to spend money on me, thank you. That's never going to be taken for granted. There's a reason why I like time for service, is make sure that if I'm being paid, there is that understanding that the money will lead to good quality. So that's the point of the Patreon. That's the point of making these kinds of conversations, these types of videos, talking, like, being just very open, right? We're not going to hide. People need to eat. I need to eat. I'd love to make more egg sandwiches in the future, which means I need to make money. And if that means getting another job on top of making this one work, then that's what we're going to do. Make sure that I can produce more. But yeah, the concept is, I want to make it more accessible. So if you guys want to check out the Commentator over anything live, we do it once a month. We are going to be talking about very quickly what's going to be changing up with that show, but you see all the changes here. These are already live, so when you look at the Patreon, if you click on the link below, you already see all these are changed. So this is not just like a photoshopped preview. This is already live, so you will get value instantly. Minus the fact that for some reason Discord role's not working on the $2 tier. I'm going to get that fixed. I don't know why. I might have to just, like I was saying, I have to disconnect and reconnect it. It was weird though, because like it still shows the options there, but it won't let me choose, and then everything else still has the option that's already connected. It's very strange, but nonetheless.
No, but it's technology, and you are perfect, so.
Yes, that is true. I was trying to play around and actually do things Actually, you know what? People are watching. Can I change this right now? Everything always works better when someone's watching me. Nope, not this time. You're cursed. Okay. Nobody in this call solves technology for me. That's fair. Changes to the Commentator over anything. Very simply put, we're going to theme it. So I'm going to be asking in Patreon or on Patreon in the patron chat on Discord, what type of theme do you want? Do you guys want to do dramatic readings? Do you guys want to still do clips? Do you want me to watch like clips from streamers? Stuff like that. We'll see what people are feeling like they can find content on. You find the content, then I'll commentate over it. We're just going to get a lot more flavor of it. So if you guys really want to see dramatic readings of fan stories from Harry Potter's universe, you can vote on that. If you want to see me read My Little Pony just in general, you can sadly vote on that. All the content will be appropriate. So we're not going to start, like, we're going to avoid, obviously, NSFW stuff.
PG and under.
Yeah, it'll be basically PG, as long as, you know, there are certain aspects of certain things that I could read, because I can't play horror games, but I don't mind reading horror stories because they're just stories, they can't hurt you, and I'm the one doing the voice. So, you know. But
can we have you read creepypasta?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is there will be some gray areas with that, but like, as long as, again, it's like a PG creepypasta, I'm gonna try and avoid like the super violent, gory, descriptive stuff, because that can actually be a problem for some people. So we'll keep it as neutral as possible without restricting the maximum amount of content. I think that's the proper way to say that. We're gonna try and get as much as we can within the limits that are very reasonable. There we go. That's a good way of saying it. High five, corporate me. So, yes, you guys can vote on that month by month. We won't make it like, it's not like the new block where you have to keep suggesting it every single month. We can just make a list of it. As long as you're a patron, we'll keep your name on there. We'll just go down the list, check it off, put a vote in, make that happen. Well, it's never a popularity contest in this community, so that's the nice thing about it. That's why I make it, so you guys can just post as many things as you want, because people don't favor other people. We don't allow that kind of behavior in here, even though Marie is the best mod, and that will never change, but we don't do favoritism. So that's why I'm excited to make this happen, because I think it also just expands it. You guys could even give me audiobooks. I could read you bedtime stories. I could read you children's stories. Like, I could do, people are saying you should do voiceovers and do audio recordings. Like, well, now we could just do sections of those, and you're paying for it, right? So you're getting it. You're getting good content, and it's gonna be worth your time and your money. So
just very slowly have Pro record a whole audiobook over the course of several commentate over anything.
That would be, you know what? I'm not opposed to that. You give me a 200-page book, I'll do 10 pages for 20 things if you keep paying. If you keep paying, I'll make a note of it. I will write it down and be like, okay, we did one, there's still a patron. All right, this month, next 10 pages of Aragon. We'll do that.
Amazing.
We can make that happen while it's still small. I mean, we're going to have to figure out a format like that when we start doing the Buy My Time Slot section. Alice in Zombieland? Oh, God. Broken's going to be whipping out some of the... I'm going to start reading, like, zombie post-apocalyptic things, but all the zombies are actually humans that are actually zombies, and they turn into human. It's gonna be some weird Bizarro World crap. I'm fine with it.
Did you just invent were zombies?
Where?
Bro?
I feel like Nothing can be invented, only rehashed from the denizens of your brain that may or may not have been exposed to this stuff before. I feel like I've heard someone talk about reverse zombies. I call them reverse zombies. How do you say zombie backward? Ebmos. They're ebmobs. Yeah, no, we're going to call them reverse zombies or were-zombies. Were-zombies sounds terrifying. Isn't that just a werewolf anyways? No, it's a lycanthrope. Those, whatever. You know, this is why I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be learning a lot from you guys on the internet by you posting me all these wonderful things. I swear to God, you're going to have to pay double if you make me read My Little Pony. I'm just saying. Dire zombies? Jesus Christ. Yeah, there you go. So that's the stuff we're going to be going with. We'll make it clear. We'll make it as, like I said, we're going to have votes, so we'll see about the popularity and what people would want to see. And also, the other thing that I am doing is we're going to make these areas kind of more public, so more people know what's going on. So if you want to jump in, now you've got a very, it's only $1 to jump into the patron exclusive channels. So even if you just want to put in your input and literally not pay attention to it, you could do that for $1. You could literally suggest stuff for Commentator for anything. You can't post the clips, you can't post the content, but you could say, hey guys, it'd be really cool if you guys enjoyed, reading Cabbage Patch Kids stories, and then just leave the Discord. You could do that for $1. It's very open. I'm very generous. I am a graceful individual. So there you go. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. This is live. You go take a look at it yourself. Feel free to consider this. And thank everybody who has been supporting thus far and making this a reality and keeping the stream lights on, if you will, because this doesn't help me survive, but it does help keep the stream alive. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video, stream, COA, public appearance, because my face is very noticeable at this point. There you go.